Morning, America. We're in Quartzsite at the RTR. Say campers everywhere. Campers everywhere we look. So, what am I doing right now? I'm gonna go around and talk all day and visit with people. But for right now, got the generator running the, getting the batteries charged up. But we're also cooking breakfast. So, I'm gonna get busy with that for the moment. And let's see, block that light out. There we go. I want to get busy with this for a little bit, and we'll go interview people and talk to people, so see what they're up to. Day number one. The actual RTR doesn't start till tomorrow on Thursday. Today's Wednesday, so it's a free day. Just gonna go out and visit. So. Well, I'm here. Got my very first interview. His name's Jason. And where are you from, Jason?
I'm from near Dallas, Texas. About
homeboy.
about an hour east of Dallas.
Okay, I'm about a half hour south of Dallas, so we're pretty close by.
Yeah.
What do you do? What's your occupation?
Right now, I work for the state. I work for TxDOT, and so I've got about another 6 years or so of that before I can retire with a small pension.
Okay. All right. So when you, all right. Well, we're fumbling through this. This is the first time I've ever done this. So him too. Yep. So when it, why are you here? Why are you interested in this? The RTR and traveling around in a van. Why not a big Class A motorhome and RV parks?
Well, a couple of things. I'm frugal by nature. I like to get the most out of the least. Mm-hmm. I also have a streak of kind of preparedness.
Oh, prepper,
yeah. I was a Eagle Scout and a soldier and things like that. Right. So that mindset is pretty strong with me. Mm-hmm. So as to why I'm here instead of in an RV park, well, the RV parks cost money, and it's less expensive, and it's also more fun to me to be off grid and capable off grid. You know, I've got enough water, enough solar power, heat, and ventilation to make it off the grid like this on short jaunts. So that's why I'm here rather than in a RV park.
What would you consider yourself a survivalist?
I don't think that I'm. I don't think I have that hardcore of a mindset. I don't have a stockpile of ammo here.
Okay.
But I'm more of a Boy Scout. You remember their motto is "Be prepared."
Okay.
And so I like to be prepared for things. Mm-hmm. You know, I always have a pencil and paper in my pocket, water with me, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
Just general preparedness more so.
Okay, very good. So, so you just come out here. You heard about RT. How'd you find it? Just Bob's website?
Yeah, I've been on the forum for a year or so. I've been following along and got serious about it about a year ago. I've dabbled in the idea for about 10 years with a small Ford Ranger camper top, a little bit of solar and 12-volt underneath.
Weekend camper?
Yeah, weekend camper, and I'm still weekend campering. Okay. This is my first...
You're not full-time still?
No. Okay. I have a 40-hour job in a sticks and bricks. I live on some family land, about 3 acres. So I got plenty of land out there. And this has been what I do after work. You know, I'm happily divorced, so So number one, I have time to do what I want. I can do what I want. I have money to do what I want now.
Yeah.
So so this is what I want. I'm building out my retirement. This will be my retirement home. Mm-hmm. So I did the research and everything on the vans for about a year, pulled the trigger, and I've been bumbling through the build since then. I really have very limited skills.
Okay.
It's all trial and error.
All right. Yeah, as far as his build, I'm not going to do a whole lot of interview with the inside of the van. I'll poke the camera in there real quick and just give you an idea of what he's got.
It would be disappointing anyhow.
Well, no, it's not so. It's just there's a million van builds out there, and I've seen them all and all that. My interest, why I'm the question I've asked last year when I was out here, and the questions I'm asking this year is, how can you afford to do this if you don't have a job?
Right.
You know, and it's amazing the answers. So I thought this year I'd bring a camera out and get it on film, because I was just perplexed. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. Why I'm doing this kind of interview, but There you go. Finances. I don't get any more detail than you want, but not exact dollars or anything. But what's your general?
Understood. Right now, I'm fully employed by the state. I have a decent job there. They treat me well, and so I have, enough money to. I can't go crazy, but I can, every month do little parts of my build. The big plan, and the reason I'm not full-timing right now, is I still have about 6 years until I can retire with a small pension.
Right.
I will talk about that number because it might be helpful for others to understand.
Okay.
The amount of the pension right now, as it's calculated, will be about $1,800 a month.
Okay.
And so I am already living in my sticks and bricks on less than that, just because I live in a very kind of economically depressed location and on family land, So I'm already living on less than that, and making a rent payment and that kind of thing. Yeah, and utilities are actually a lot. I started calculating that.
Now this $1,800, that includes food and gasoline and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and the rest
He's
of it.
frugal.
well. I did have a lot of debt in the past from student loans and things like that, and just stupid decisions when I was younger.
Motorcycles and Corvettes was my problem.
Well, I haven't quit the motorcycles, but they're paid off now. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I did pay off my debt aggressively, and then whenever that was paid off, I snowballed or avalanched that amount over and started sinking
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. Yeah, I don't follow Dave Ramsey, but I understand that that's his terminology.
Right.
And so basically, once that happened, I took that, whatever that number was, and it depends on maybe $1,200, $1,500 a month that I was using on debt, and put that over into 401k and other forms of pre-tax savings. So by the time I'm ready to retire,
you'll have 401k, you'll have pension, and eventually Social Security.
Yes.
All those together, and that's more than enough money to do your deal.
That's more than just either. Yeah, I would say that almost any one of those would be sufficient because I'm a beans and rice kind of guy. I've got a crock pot and a pressure cooker, and I'll make a pot of beans tonight. So
I've talked to people last year and even already today and yesterday. They live on $500 or $600 a month in these vans, and to me, it just blows my mind because I spent like $72,000 just on diesel fuel last year, and that just boggles me that people can live so frugally and inexpensively. And it's, I guess, one thing I've learned from Bob, and I still want to thank you, Bob, if you're watching this, is the different mindset. You don't have to make $1 million if you don't live on $1 million. Right. If you only live on $12, all you got to do is make $12, and it's so make a bunch of money and then shut off and then live frugally for the rest of your life. And you don't have to. What am I looking for here? You don't have to get up when you're 62 years old and force yourself to go to work and sit in that cubicle or whatever.
I agree.
You've liberated yourself before you're too old to do something. It's so sad for me that people go out and work until they're 68 years old and say, okay, I'm finally retired. I'm going to take my Social Security, and me and the wife are going to go travel, and he dies a year later. That is so sad to me, that you never got to enjoy your life, and usually when you're 70 years old, you can't go skydiving, you can't go kayaking across whitewater rapids.
Not more than once. Once you might do it.
Good point.
You do it twice.
Good point. But it's just you can't do that kind of stuff. So that. I want to do that while I still am physically able. I mean, I've got aches and pains. I wake up in the morning, my shoulder or my hip or my knee. I'm feeling that age now, and I want to be able to go do things before I get too old. So that's otherwise I wouldn't be here at the RTR. I'd be out there driving a truck till I'm 70 and then die at 71. Because what? I stress myself to death. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. So. Anything else?
Yeah, a couple of things. The stress thing that you brought up. Immediately before I took off to this trip, I stopped by for my every 6 months checkup, and my blood pressure is the lowest that it has been in 30 years. It's just a different mindset. And the other thing is that although I described to my friends who are concerned that I would be traveling as a retirement, that's not really my plan.
As an old man.
Right. Well, in 6 years. But more so, and your fuel comment brought this to mind, is that what I really want to do is see the places I want to see and do those 14-day hits on forest land and BLM land. I'm not consuming, I'm not driving 8 hours a day or whatever, consuming a bunch of gas. Is I'm finding places and moving gradually from place to place that I want to be
50
at.
or 100 miles every 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And just, enough to follow the weather.
Follow 70 degrees.
Yeah, follow 70, maybe even 75 because we're from Texas, But
I like 65.
yeah, it's all good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I got a lot more insulation than he does.
Well, I'm gaining on him. So,
so
yeah, so that's going to be my approach, and live frugally and.
Yeah. So anyway, let me poke the camera inside and look.
Sure.
Let me do a little quick review. I mean, it's not detailed. Just kind of let.
Well, you can laugh, just don't point. Right?
All right. Well, get on in there.
I wasn't expecting company, so it's not particularly clean at the moment. I'm doing some projects here, but.
All right. So what do you?
This is a 159-inch ProMaster. I've got the bed sideways across the end there. Obviously, haven't finished what I'm doing, but
yeah, your paneling, your styrofoam insulation.
I'm still working on it, but there is functional galley here with the sink and water and water
you got
tank.
a sink. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You just can't see it because it's
okay.
behind the laptop and everything.
You seem to be kind of into electronics and stuff too, aren't you?
Well, I'm into being able to run a laptop, I guess.
So I'm here, a little electronic stuff.
Oh no! Now I'm going to be ashamed of myself. But yeah, it's pretty simple. But then again, so am I.
Okay, this is like half built.
Yeah.
When it's fully built, what do you plan on? Your cabinet across here, or?
Well, you can see that these are going to be the cabinet hangers. I bolted these up into the ribs, and so if you can imagine, the overhead cabinets will come down to here and down here on both sides. So I'll have space for all this crap that you see here on both sides running down.
There's those hangers. Well, try to get the angle up here.
Yeah.
There we go.
And so these are just pieces of scrap I got from a scrap yard for $2.
That's the gutter, the track for a garage door.
It was,
Yeah, sure.
And then this one's just angle iron over here, but they were bolted together, and I unbolted them and cut them off to length and stuff. But $2, pretty much everything you see in here is scrap or thrift store curtains or thrift store curtains. And this is a $2 thrift store cabinet door, I think is what it originally was.
Cabinet door, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
repurpose and reuse.
Yep.
Yeah. And you get all your. This is what I'm going to struggle with on my build, is all that stuff there and trying to get everything hooked up right.
Well, I'm struggling right now.
And,
so
I'll figure it out. But I'm the 2x4 and screws and bolts and all that. I'm good. That stuff there is a little bit more. I'll get to it.
Well, I'm not very good at anything, so if it's of any consolation to folks, you can do it with no skills.
You heard that, people. No skills.
Zero.
No skill, Jason.
That's it, man.
So, all right, well, Jason, I appreciate it. Sure. This is my first one. I'll edit this out and see what we've got. And
edit out my ugly mug.
Yeah, well, let's see if we get you in frame here. No, you're in the shadows. So anyway.
Well, good. Hopefully you can do something with it.
So anyway, that's the interview with Jason, and homeboy from Texas. So I'm going to edit this out and see how good I can do. This is my very first interview, so we'll go from there. Ciao, people. Bye.